Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man PS4 and the possibility of it coming 2017. This is all from a comment from Ryan Penagos, like a chief at Marvel, I think, and he came out and said, basically, the game's coming 2017. That's what he came out and said. Now, I believe this was actually from a couple of weeks ago or a month or so ago. I'm not too sure. I think it's actually quite old. I saw this, but it's only just resurfaced. Sorry, forgot the word there. Resurfaced recently, and I just want to give my thoughts on this in general. Do I think it can happen and all that good stuff? So he came out and said Marvel vs. Capcom and Spider-Man are coming 2017. Now, obviously, he's going to know the development cycle of Spider-Man. He's going to know what's going on with Insomniac, all that good stuff. He's going to know. So I'm not claiming that the guy doesn't know what he's talking about or anything like that. However, this was not an official confirmation. You know, this is not official, confirmed, locked in. There is no date for the game. There is no Insomniac talking about it. There is no Marvel coming out and saying it, and there is no Sony. So for me, once one of the big three, or let's be honest, all three at the same time, it's gonna happen. You know, as soon as one says it, the others will. Until there is official confirmation, which will probably be at E3, I'm very skeptical to say Spider-Man PS4 is coming 2017. Would I love that? Absolutely. I want the game tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'd buy it tomorrow. But there's a lot of factors we have to look in when talking about Spider-Man PS4. So, one of the big things that we have to say, and we have to admit, is that Spider-Man has had pretty much nothing shown. There has been no real gameplay. I apologise. There's been no real gameplay. I mean, they showed a little section of you swinging through a shop. Now, I've heard that conflicting things like that may have been gameplay. I've heard people say it isn't. It's just CGI. I really don't know. I've watched the trailer a lot. It looks great. But we haven't really seen too much. He swung through a shop. He beat up a few bad guys. And he looked pretty badass. But that's all we've seen. We haven't seen anything to do with the story. We haven't seen anything really. We've seen a little confirmation of the game, and that's about it. We've also seen a street sign, which is brilliant. You know, I always love to see a good street sign. That was shown at the PS4 Pro event, and then we had an advert showing off PlayStation's upcoming games, Spider-Man, God of War, etc. So, you know, for me personally, I look at this like, I just don't know if it's had enough time. You know, I mean, apparently it's been in development for 2 years. I know of games that have been delayed 2 years and more from bigger developers than Insomniac. You know, you look at Square, look at Kingdom Hearts, look at Final Fantasy 15, probably Final Fantasy 7. You look at these games and the development cycles they go through, they're huge. So to say that it's coming 2017, there's no delay, no nothing confirmed, I find it very hard to believe. There's also another huge factor in why I don't think it will come this year. Basically, if it's going to come, it's going to be shown at E3, and they need a few months to market it. That means at the minimum it's coming October. Possibly September, but I think October. That holiday, 3-month holiday, whatever. October to December, I think it's coming October, if it's coming this year. And that would be a real problem for PlayStation. You know, PlayStation have huge multi-million-dollar contracts with Call of Duty, Star Wars Battlefront, Red Dead Redemption 2, if it's not delayed. I still think it will. Destiny 2, you know, possibly Assassin's Creed. They have all the marketing deals for all of the big AAA third-party games. So they're going to want to advertise these games. And we know from last year some huge games, Titanfall 2, Dishonored 2, you know, these are huge games, absolutely flopped in sales. Even, you know, looking on an exclusive standpoint, because obviously exclusives have their hardcore fan base on each system. You look at Gears. Now, Gears didn't flop in a sense of it didn't sell very well, but it didn't sell well for a Gears of War title. It sold well for a normal game, but for Gears of War, probably the third biggest IP on the Xbox, it really didn't sell that well. Why didn't it sell that well? Because it was sandwiched in between some of the biggest games of the year. So I don't know if Sony's going to take that risk. You know, we look as well. God of War still rumored for this year. Gran Turismo Sport still rumored for this year. Knack 2, I know Knack isn't a huge game, but it's still a AAA game from a first-party developer. You look at all these games and I'm like, how do they fit them in? You know, how do they fit them in? And if they're all coming out in the holiday, then I'm sorry to say it, but one of them's going to flop. Probably not Spider-Man, but, you know, then you're looking at possibly Gran Turismo, which is Sony's biggest IP, and then Sony's second biggest IP, God of War, both coming out in the holiday, fighting each other and all the third-party games. I don't know if that's a good look for Sony. I really don't, because Santa Monica doesn't really do anything but God of War. If God of War fails, I don't know how long you see Santa Monica, and that would be awful to see them go. Polyphony, they put millions upon millions of dollars into Polyphony Digital. If that game flops, that's a real big worry for Sony. I don't think it will, but, you know, it's something that we have to remember. So I just don't see where Spider-Man fits in. On the flip side, again, obviously this is a guy from Marvel, and he has said that it is coming 2017. That's a big bit of information. The second bit, which is very interesting, is during the holiday season, more than likely, we are going to get Spider-Man Homecoming to come out on Blu-ray or whatever. There is a strong possibility that Sony would want to market that, the DVD, you know, have a Spider-Man PS4 bundle, custom PS4 Pro and PS4 Slim maybe, and have it a Blu-ray and obviously the game and a custom console with a design on it. I think that'd sell pretty well. I think if they wanted to sell consoles, that would be a pretty decent way. And then, because this whole deal came about with Sony, because Sony obviously own the rights, the movie rights to Spider-Man, though Marvel own the gaming rights to Spider-Man. So yeah, they worked together to get this deal. Without Sony, the company making the movie, you wouldn't have got the game. So, well, you wouldn't have got the game exclusive, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. For me, I'm going to sit on the side of, I want it to come 2017. I'd love that so much. But I'm preparing myself for it not to come. Because, again, we haven't really seen anything of note. And, yeah, I just can't personally see that happening. But, of course, I've been wrong many times before. And I hope I'm wrong again. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think Spider-Man's coming this year? Do you think there's just far too many PS4 exclusives for, you know, Spider-Man to really fit in that holiday season like me? Or, you know, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. But as always, guys, this has been M&M Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in a new video.